toll road here, and I'm at the Buckeye Furnace Historic Site. Gonna check out some historic sites. My suggestion for all of you, men, women, and children out there, even you little buckaroos, buckle up, buckaroos. You're about ready to take a ride on the toll road. Oh, what the heck was that? I also got my good buddy, Road Trip Rich here, reading up a little bit about the history of this place in the Civil War. Anything of interest there, Rich?
This is the iron from this place was in such demand. Okay, the iron masters, they loaded wagons while the iron was still hot. They were still warm.
Okay.
They were still hot.
That's demand there. I think I might let it cool down. I wonder if they had any of them catch on fire.
Probably. The iron from this area was used to make rifle barrels, armor plates. They also built steam engines.
All this stuff you're looking for in the Civil War. Yeah,
engines,
definitely.
Railroad.
So you're telling me this place here won the Civil War for the North? And in part it did, yeah. Buckeye Furnace covered bridge. How's it look to you in there, Rich?
We'll take a load of iron wagon.
So we've been a couple covered bridges before, and I know they're saying that by covering the bridge, an uncovered one would last maybe 10 years, where a covered one could last centuries. This one's still standing, so.
Why do you think they have it's open up near the roof?
Well, ventilation, in case someone, like a horse, comes in there and farts, all that fart will go out and it won't stink. What's your theory?
I mean, that's kind of the same thing, but also for like high winds and stuff. It has.
Oh, so it won't. So the pressure won't go on the sides and cave it in. Well, yeah, that's got some logic to it. I'll believe you there. They said this was one of the last covered bridges built in Ohio. I think it was said 1919. It's a Smith truss, which Smith was out of Tippecanoe, Ohio, Tip City now, before he moved his company up into Toledo. And the only reason this bridge was removed or needed to be replaced because of modern span of the increased traffic and overloading. You know, this was built in an era when you'd be on horses crossing this, not your Jeep 4x4 or your loaded down pickup truck. We're gonna make our way up to the Buckeye Furnace office and store. And from what I was reading on another sign, this is kind of a replica of, as it says, the offices and store from when this was a very, very vibrant area in industry.
I'll tell you when it is. It's always the first.
Everywhere else, we've got a national cash register from Dayton, Ohio.
This counter around and pay. We're like, hey, we found this. We're lucky you found us. We never charge. She got the skillet and then she laid it down and she went running up to the man with the tube of lipstick and wrote his name on it.
There's a scale. I'm still under 8 tons, so that's good.
Yeah, we put a whole busload of kids on there.
Okay, up on top of the hill is the charging house. But right in front of me now is the casting shed. Casting shed is where they take the molten iron and turn it into the pigs. Oink, oink. Inside of here, inside the casting shed interior, you'll see this right over here. If you look in here, they say you can see some faint outlines of sand molds on the floor. Let's see if we see any. Echo! Straight ahead here, the molds were to the right side of the furnace, and to the left is where the slag was collected. busted up and hauled away. Inside the casting shed, one of the last things I see here is the slag wheel. And I've got Mr. Slag himself, Brandon from Off the Beaten Path. How did this mechanism work? And
We have one person walking on the dowel pegs coming out of the slag wheel.
Wait a minute, walking on them? What are you talking
They
about?
would walk along these dowel rods to get it spinning.
So this was actually a giant hamster wheel then?
Per sorts, yep.
So I'm thinking that guy had some pretty good calves who was ever doing that.
Imagine walking on them.
Walking on that all day, and then that pulled the chain and
Pulled the chain that and pulled the impurities out.
Oh, so that's where they took all the
Yeah,
garbage.
The impurities would fall off the top.
So the impurities would fall off the top here, then they could transport them out of here and out of their way.
Sure.
Interesting. Steps mean I have to go up, see what's up here. Tell you what, even building this was, what a project, moving all these, even building this, like putting all these big rocks here and the woodwork. Okay, here we're inside the engine room. See this big 15-foot flywheel. It's powered by steam to this compressor. And this compressor is what able to compress the air and send it over to the furnace, which they, of course, use to heat things up. Making ore, baby. So these furnace communities are similar to like the coal communities where you got your own company store. You had to have housing for them because this is a remote area. People just don't naturally live here in that time. So they had houses there. And of course, big house, that's going to be your Iron Master's house. That's how you know who's in charge. But anything they wanted, it was like their own little town. They had your doctors and whatever you would need in a town in that time. It's all located in this little community. And when the mill finally gave way, they came out when this place was running at its peak in the 1880s, they had the best iron ore you could find anywhere. Well, what happens when they find better somewhere else? You become obsolete. Jobs went away, the people moved away. Because of all the timber they had to clear here for making their charcoal, it opened the land up and became more of an agricultural and a farming area. Stockyards here where they kept all their raw materials. You bring in your cargo, would be unloaded of limestone, your iron ore, your charcoal, everything needed to make your pigs. Stored in here until you got it to the charging house, to the stock shed here. Now the last sign I ran across told me that this was mainly used for storing the charcoal. And let's see. Yeah, running low on charcoal in here. They needed a limestone as kind of a filter to get the impurities out of their iron ore, and they mine that in the same area around here. Limestone's kind of heavy. You don't want to have to transport that too far. But the same places they were mining the iron ore, limestone was there, so that worked out pretty good. If you ever want to make your own charcoal, follow these 3 basic steps. Line up your wood, put a big stick in the middle, pour some top of it, start that fire going. Then the fun part, start shoveling. You got yourself some charcoal. Look at this. Ox team pulls approximately 100 bushels of charcoal. Now they didn't measure charcoal in weight like other things. They did it more by volume, so it was called a bushel. There's the drawing and loading of charcoal at the Vesuvius furnace. Wow, Vesuvius, that's a ominous name right there for somewhere where you're burning something. And the charcoal pit at Olive Furnace in Lawrence County. Just kind of give you an idea of what that looked like during the time when that was being operated. Let's go take a look at the charging house. This is where actually I wouldn't say most of the action, but where the real first first measures of turning the iron ore into iron products, or pure iron. Bridge loft or the charging house. Okay, this is saying the tunnel head was opening in the top of the furnace stone stack through which the ore, limestone, charcoal were fed into the furnace. The bridge loft also contained the boilers to power the steam engine and the hot blast oven used to heat the blast air. Let's get inside here, see if it's warm. Anybody? Hey, road trip. Is it warm in here? Does it feel like a furnace?
No, not at all.
Yeah, well, you'll have this here. So compressed air. So from the engine house, the air I was talking about, that they put that into this here. Start heating things up, right? Because they heated compressed air out to the furnace, which is, the furnace is actually right here. A lot of water in there creating the steam. You got your boilers. Pipe containing hot gases from the furnace heat the water in the boilers to the tunnel head down to the furnace. Let's take a look at the furnace itself. Anything of interest down there, Rich?
Just the engine.
I just wonder, did you read anywhere or did you hear how hot it actually had to get? That's one thing I did miss that I might have to look
I'm
up.
not sure of it.
I mean, I'm thinking at least
2,000
I'm thinking at
degrees.
least 80, 90 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah, you're probably right. Probably a couple thousand degrees to melt that down. So is this then, what is, you have any idea what this is? Is that the,
I have
Yeah.
no idea.
I want to fall through this. Oh, is this one of the buckets then for the, yeah. So, okay, this would swing over. So you probably take it from one area and swing it over to the chute, I imagine then, huh? So I'll give you, right here from the charging house, we'll look down where we were before. We'll be able to see the engine house and the casting shed. And hopefully I can get the slag wheel in. So right down below you see the stonework, and that's gonna be your casting shed. That's the engine room right there. If I move this around, maybe, just maybe not. Let's see if I can zoom through these trees. Right there, that's your slag wheel. That's gonna do it for the toll road here at Buckeye Furnace in Vinton County, Ohio. And got one thing left to ask America. Who knows? Who knows where the toll road will lead to next?